presents the National Football League. Today, from Veterans Stadium, it's the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Brought to you by Budweiser, proud sponsor of the 1988 U.S. Olympic team. This Bud's for you. By Mitsubishi Motors, who invites you to come see the full line of cars and trucks. Mitsubishi, suddenly the obvious choice. And by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler.
On a perfect football afternoon at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, game time temperature about 73 degrees as two of the most prolific offensive teams in the National Football League will lock heads here this afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Kevin Slayton, along with former Cincinnati Bengal guard Dave Lapham. And Dave, we talk about these offensive units. Somebody's defense is going to have to play well.
That's exactly right, Kevin. And the Philadelphia Eagles, they have a reputation in the National Football League as having a playoff caliber defense. Cincinnati Bengals, on the other hand, a much maligned defense. They're out to prove this afternoon that they're capable of handling a very good offense that Buddy Ryan has put together, which has a multitude of weapons. Randall Cunningham, Mike Quick, and right on down the line. So the Bengal defense is on the hot seat this afternoon.
Sam White, on the other hand, he knows what the hot seat feels like, but he got a big opening day victory last week, spurred by 2 goal line stands. So their defense, even though it bent a lot, when it came right down to it, Dave, they played very well in the clutch.
That's exactly right, Kevin, and that's a situation that the Bengals had problems with in the past. Not only bent, but gave up a lot of points. Last weekend, of course, only giving up 14 points to the Cardinals, and as you say, the effort was really highlighted by 2 goal line stands. And if you get 2 goal line stands in one season, it's good. They get it in one game.
You saw Dean Dorsey ready to kick it off. There is Stanford Jennings. He is the center fielder in the triumvirate of backs that the Bengals have back there. Ickey Woods is to the bottom of the screen and to his right. And at the top is Barney Bussey. There is Jennings. And he's getting set to receive the kickoff from Dorsey, the kicker that the Eagles got from Ottawa up in the Canadian League.
Opening kickoff to get this second game of the campaign underway. So Dorsey advances on the ball. It's a high kick, and it'll be very short. And it'll be taken and dropped and fumbled out of bounds at the 18-yard line. Bussey was over there along with Jim Riggs at tight end. And I could just about hear Bussey yelling, I have it, I have it. Riggs tried to grab it and lost it. And it rolled out of bounds at the 18, and that is where the Bengals will be starting. Boomer Esiason is the quarterback. James Brooks, Stanley Wilson in the backfield. Eddie Brown, Tim McGee are the wide receivers. Anthony Munoz and Joe Walder are the tackles. Bruce Reimers and Max Montoya at the guards. Bruce Kozerski at center. And Rod Holman, the tight end. I see that looks like Michael Martin is opening at a wide receiving spot over on his side. The Bengals going with 2 tight ends. Eric Caddis is the other. He comes in motion over the near side to hand off to Brooks around the left side. He will get to just about the 20 as he cuts in and is dropped right there at about the 20-yard line. There are 3 or 4 Eagles that got there in a hurry. Mike Pitts, left tackle, one of those in on the stop. A 2-yard gain at the 20-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I think we're going to find the Bengals simplifying their game plan a little bit this week, Phil, especially on offense. A lot of defensive fronts by the Eagles causes some confusion. They want to go in very basic today.
Now McGee's right side. The left side is Eddie Brown, who had a big day, 6 catches for 143 yards last week. The Eagles, of course, play a 4-man line. 2nd week in a row, the Bengals have looked at that. Esiason is going to go back and throw, and he's going to be nailed. Right away, Jerome Brown got him no sooner, and Boomer turned around back at about the 11-yard line. And Jerome Brown, who is their right tackle, be coming through the Bengals' left side, probably around Bruce Reimers if the blocking schemes were straight up, and nailed him way back near the 10-yard line.
And right away, the Bengals go into their hurry-up offense, and they want to keep the nickel off the field as much as they can this afternoon.
Pitches it out to Stanley Wilson, and Wilson is met by a horde of Eagles as he gets to the 15-yard line for a gain of about 5 yards. Andre Waters up from the safety spot, so the Bengals wind up losing about 3 yards on their first series, and that will send Scott Fulhage to punt.
And we've got an injured Eagle down on the field there, Phil.
Yeah. trainers come out from the near side of the field out to take a look at him. He probably got hurt by one of his own men because there were about 6 of them in there on that tackle of Stanley Wilson.
The Bengals' strategy this afternoon is going to that nickel defense or the hurry-up offense on 3rd down to keep the nickel off the field.
So we have timeout in the field. We've just started. No score on the Cincinnati Bengals Radio Network.
There's a look at the man who was 3rd in the AFC in punting in 1987, averaging just over 42 yards a kick. Mark Konechny is back at about his own 40-yard line. An end-over-end low kick. Konechny will return this from midfield. Eagles will get great field position. He's inside the 40 down to the 37.
The Eagles' emotion is at a fever pitch right now. Buddy Ryan's got this club ready to play football.
35-yard punt and a 14-yard return by Konechny, a guy that the Eagles picked up on waivers from the Jets. So Randall Cunningham and his offensive unit will be in great shape as they open the game at the Bengal 37-yard line. The real question mark for the Eagles has been the running game, and we'll see if they start out with that. The quick toss comes back. Big running room this time inside the 35 as Anthony Toney breaks it back.
The Philadelphia Eagles want to establish that running attack.
Mentioned Cunningham leading the offense. The big play guy is Mike Quick.
Mike Quick gets deep on a regular basis. 5-time Pro Bowler. Last 5 years been in the Pro Bowl. The captain of the team.
And up front, the big story, Dave Rimington, released by the Bengals because he couldn't pass his physical.
Big matchup with Tim Crumrye, the Bengal nose tackle.
2nd and 6 after Toney picked up 4. They'll run it again. This time Byers through a hole on the left side. He's drilled down as he gets inside the 30. Carl Zander, number 91, was there, along with Skip McClendon, the left end, number 72. And they both look quick in their first steps that time, Dave.
Certainly do, and really the Eagles are getting the better of it at the line of scrimmage here early, and the Eagle coaching staff has to be extremely happy. The Bengal defense gave up over 5 yards a pop last week to the Cardinals. The Eagles wanted to establish that running attack. They sputtered last week against the Buccaneers, and they want to get on track here for that running game.
It's going to be 3rd and 2. We welcome those viewers who are watching the Buffalo-Miami game. Welcome to Veterans Stadium. 3rd and 2. Toney has a first down and more as he gets inside the 25. Jim Scow, number 70, the right defensive end, was the first to knock him off balance, but he picked up good yardage down to the 24. You mentioned Crumrye. He and Rimington, no love lost there, is there, Dave?
No, there really is, and they really want to prove who's the better football player this afternoon. Tim Crumrye is the only defensive lineman to lead his team in tackles. Carl Zander, Joe Kelly, just a solid group. Reggie Williams, a 13-year veteran. David Fulcher, biggest strong safety in the National Football League, like a linebacker. Excellent football player.
Cunningham has yet to throw a pass. The draws to Byers. Big hole over the right side. He's still moving inside the 20. He is a load to bring down. Leon White, number 51, was the first to grab him. He got help from Solomon Wilcots out of the secondary. But, Dave, I believe you may have been able to get through that hole.
It has to be a wide one, Kevin, for me to get through, but it was. Nice execution. Just a little sucker play on Skip McClendon. Block thrown very effectively in there by Toney. Takes 3 players, 3 Bengal defenders to bring Keith Byers down. And here's a gentleman that played his high school and collegiate football in the state of Ohio. He wants to perform well against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Byers and Toney last week combined for a total of 28 yards on the ground. Today, in just 4 plays, they had 20. And they're on the move inside the Bengals 20 with a 2nd and 4. Cunningham's first pass of the day. Down the middle. He's got his big tight end inside the 10. Jackson's hard to bring down as he gets to the 5. And we'll see where they spot his progress. They're going to move it back to the 10-yard line. But the big rookie from Oklahoma makes his presence felt in a hurry.
He's a tremendous talent. This guy's 250 pounds, runs a 4.5 40. Cunningham, tremendous separation. Nobody around. Keith Jackson shucks the first tackle. Again, takes 4 or 5 Bengal defenders to bring this. He looked like a runaway freight train on that play. The Eagles are definitely fired up, and Jackson's leading the pack right now.
He caught 2 a week ago, 1 for a touchdown. It's a first down as the nose of the ball is right on the 10. I don't believe they can get a first down without scoring, but we'll see. Toney over the left side, cuts inside the 5, touchdown!
the Bengal defensive coaches right now, Kevin. They wanted to shut down Philadelphia's running attack, thereby making Randall Cunningham beat them. But right now, the entire offensive game plan is wide open to the Philadelphia Eagles because they're running the football effectively. They still haven't had to tap the resource of Randall Cunningham.
They threw just one pass in that touchdown drive. They had the great field position at the 37, and Dorsey's on. He kicked 147 points after in a row in the Canadian League. He's 3 for 3 this year. Or I should say 6 for 6 this year, as he kicked 5 of them last week. So the Eagles quickly, on their first possession of the game, march 37 yards to a touchdown. Tony gets it, and they go out in front 7-0 with 9:47 remaining in the first quarter.
They really did it by controlling the line of scrimmage and the running game. They averaged over, I think, close to 5 yards a pop. Randall Cunningham, just a quick dive to Tony. Tremendous haul. Block missed inside, makes a great cut inside on number 41, Solomon Wilcots, and nobody touches him. David Fulcher's the first to touch him, 2 yards into the end zone. Just a nice move, cuts back against number 41, Wilcots once again. Spins into the end zone, no problem. It's easy in the NFL, he says.
Dave, Buddy Ryan was telling us yesterday how disgusted he was with his running game and that he felt like he is alibied for Tony and Byers long enough, and he was tired of it. And the offensive line was hanging their heads. But his message gets through, and we're talking to a longtime Eagle great Tom Brookshire, and he said that Buddy Ryan likes to back his players into a corner, and they seem to respond when he does that. And I'll tell you what, if that first drive's any indication, they've responded to what Buddy Ryan has been saying all week long.
They certainly have. Buddy Ryan, he speaks his mind, and he wants the players to do the same. Very colorful character. In fairness to the Bengal defense, tremendous field position afforded to the Eagles. Starting out on the Bengal 40-yard line, backs to the wall at that point.
This time Dorsey gets his full leg into it. Bussey at the 1. Bussey in trouble and tripped up as he crosses the 15-yard line. And it appeared as though Izell Jenkins, number 46, was the first one down there. Some of the scores from around the league. What a great game in Washington. Would the defending Super Bowl champs dare lose their first two? Looks like a battle of field goals in that Buffalo game. New Orleans and Atlanta have an offensive seesaw, and a big one in Indianapolis, won by the Bears to go 2-0. Some of the games just starting. The Raiders, Jay Schrader not starting at quarterback, we were told earlier. But they have the lead over Houston, who is playing without Warren Moon. Our game is 7-0 Eagles. They took their first possession and pounded it 37 yards into the end zone, and they lead the Bengals here 7-0. Kevin Slayton along with Dave Lapham. Bengals start. Flags go down as Brooks spins his way for maybe a loss of a yard, but I believe the Eagles jump.
I agree with you, Kevin, and a good play by Boomer Esiason, and what he did is he knows the Eagles are up in the bit, so to speak. They're ready to come off the football. Little voice inflection, non-rhythmic snap count, caught the Eagles jumping into the neutral zone.
Bob McElway, our referee, giving you the signal.
Offside, 96, defense, first down.
So it'll be 1st and 5, and the way the Eagles played defense on that first series, we talked about the great field position that the Eagle offense had. It was set up, Dave, because of that defensive stand.
Defense was just awesome, and they're still jacked up, ready to play football. And I think it showed by them being a little bit over-anxious on the first snap.
Jerome Brown had a sack in that first possession. Reggie White, who was shaken up, is back out there. Long count from Boomer. He'll throw it on first down. He's harassed. Down the middle he goes, and he hits his man McGee. He's got some room. His speed is great. Only one man to beat, and he's going to score. A touchdown for the Bengals.
Unbelievable speed shown by Tim McGee. 78 yards he took that one. Almost a coast-to-coast play. Reggie White afforded the initial pressure. Boomer Esiason, undaunted on his blind side, stepped up in the pocket, delivered a nice pass to Tim McGee, and it was Katie Barr the door. You see Boomer step up. Reggie White, number 92 in the white, is thrown to the ground. Tim McGee makes a nice catch, cuts upfield, and boy, he takes an angle to that python down in the right corner of the end zone. Nobody's going to catch him. He ducks inside the orange marker. Boom. Touchdown. The big play capabilities of the Cincinnati Bengal offense in evidence there.
And McGee with that great speed, his first touchdown of the season, and Jim Breach comes on to try to add the conversion. Led the AFC in scoring last year. With 3 for 3 last week, and we're all tied at 7. Well, a lot of people said there might be a lot of points produced today. And thus far, with 8:55 left in the first quarter, Sam White likes what he just saw, that explosive nature of his offensive unit.
Once again, Boomer Esiason did a nice job of stepping up in the pocket, and the pressure came from his blind side. Watch number 92 in the white. He makes an arm rip on Joe Walter, and Boomer Esiason just steps up, undaunted, steps toward the line of scrimmage and fires the football. And he says, "Hey, Tim, catch it and do the rest from here." And it resulted in a 78-yard play. Boomer Esiason, of course, leads the National Football League in quarterback efficiency with a rating of 122.4 coming into today's game. And Kev, to put that in perspective, Kosar led the AFC last year with a rating of like 95. So that's tremendous numbers.
Tim McGee, who probably wouldn't be starting except for the injury to Chris Collinsworth, certainly lets everybody in Cincinnati know that he's out there and he deserves the chance.
And the Bengal coaches have made absolutely no changes in their offensive air attack with the absence of Chris Collinsworth. Tremendous confidence in Tim McGee, and he lived up to that billing on that particular play, showed great speed.
He caught just 2 passes a week ago in the victory over the Cardinals. Konechny drops deep for the Eagles, along with Sean Beals. As Breach tees it up and gets set to kick it off. So after a very disappointing opening set of downs for the Bengals, they strike quickly. And Konechny to the top of your screen, Beals to the bottom. Breach's kick is a high end-over-end job, and Konechny waits at the 8. He crosses the 25 where he's met and dropped. Jim Riggs, the tight end, good special teams player, number 87 for the Bengals, down there first to greet him. So Randall Cunningham, who took his offense into the end zone on their only possession thus far, will get another chance, but this time the field position a little bit different. He started out at the Bengal 37 the first time. This time he's penned in at his own 25.
And I think a little bit of the emotion, the edge of the emotion is worn off a little bit. Now into just the actual rhythm of the football game with it being tied.
They threw just 1 pass in that opening drive. That was to the tight end, Keith Jackson. Here's Tony. This time Jim Scow greets him quickly. Scow did a nice job of fighting off the block of Ron Heller, or of Matt Darwin.
Jim Scow, a smallish defensive end, about 245 pounds. And really, you've got some linebackers weighing that amount, but he's got tremendous explosion and great strength, unbelievable strength in that 245-pound body. But his big thing is he explodes on the offensive tackles, the bigger people, before they can get started.
That's the first time the Eagles have rushed the ball today for less than 4 yards. The quick toss is to Byers. He waits for Cook's block. He picks that up and is very close to a first down. And may indeed have it as he crossed the 35. Eric Thomas, the cornerback number 22, came up to shove him out, but Mike Quick made a nice block on the corner.
Mike Quick can do it all. Pro Bowl wide receiver. Keith Byers, unbelievably, had the 5th metatarsal bone broken on both his right and left foot. Seems to have mended very well. They say he's running a 4.5 40 once again, which is awesome for a guy of his stature.
You know, it's incredible. And Chris Carter had the same bone broken in his foot. Both of those players went to Ohio State.
Must be something in the water up there, I guess.
Short yardage. Cunningham keeps it himself, and that's an unorthodox quarterback sneak. He gains about 5 on it and picks up the first down.
Randall Cunningham's just a tremendous weapon. Of course, led the Eagles in rushing last year with 505 yards. He takes a snap, just finds a soft crease, seam in the Bengal defense. Boy, just a tremendous line surge, because the fact is that Randall Cunningham wasn't even hit till he was 4 yards downfield.
That time in that battle, Dave, that you told us to watch, right. Remington laid Crumry on his back.
That you have to chalk one up for Dave Remington on that play.
Remington did not pass the Bengals physical. When he came over to Philadelphia, where Buddy Ryan said, "I give the physical," and you could bet he passed. Cunningham sets up the screen to Tony. He's got some people in front. Tony to midfield into Cincinnati territory before he's wrestled down. Solomon Wilcox was the man back that saved the touchdown.
And once again, did you see the person who hustled down to make the tackle on the play? Watch the nose tackle, number 69, Tim Crumry. Cunningham drops back to pass, sets up the screen perfectly. Watch 69 as he appears on your screen later. A lot of blockers downfield in front, and you think Tony's going to look at Crumry. Boom. He makes the first hit, and he was rushing the quarterback from the nose tackle position. That's why he's led the Bengals in tackles the last 3 seasons consecutively.
He's a blue-collar worker that was a 10th-round pick, and he says every time he goes out there to play, even if it's practice, he's out there to prove that he's not a 10th-round pick.
Tremendous heart and determination.
They picked up 11. Cunningham, a quick one out to Byers, but he's going nowhere this time. Good defensive coverage from Eric Thomas. They'll split Byers out like that.
That's the thing, Kevin. They've got tremendous versatility in their offensive attack. They can split Keith Jackson out and use him as a third receiver in a nickel package, and they can do the same thing with Keith Byers. Split him out there with his 4-5 speed, run a pass route. They don't have to make substitutions in their nickel.
You know, something about Byers, we've talked about how long it's taken him to get back in stride with those injuries. This is his third year. A lot of coaches may have given up on him at this point, but Buddy Ryan has stuck with him through the injuries. Same story for Cunningham, and these players to a man were telling us yesterday they'd go to war for Buddy Ryan. Absolutely. A pickup of 2 on that quick pass to Byers, and on 2nd and 8, Cunningham to the air. No pressure, he overthrows Jackson. Wilcox was there covering number 41. But that play, Dave, looks like it'll be open all day long.
The Bengals came with a blitz, Reggie Williams, but it was picked up very effectively by the running back Keith Byers on that particular occasion. You're right, there are some seams to be exploited underneath in the short passing game, and Randall Cunningham can do the job. Keith Byers checking out here.
Greg Garrity, number 86, comes in to replace him in the Eagles lineup as they'll face a 3rd and 8. They were 2 for 2 in their touchdown drive as the Bengals substitute 6 defensive backs now. They figure that Cunningham's going to pass from that shotgun, and he will. Has the time for Garrity, overthrows him, and Thomas knocks him out of bounds just for the heck of it. That's called laying your calling card.
That's exactly right. Might as well just let him know that you're there, even though the ball was a non-catchable football. Randall Cunningham in the shotgun looks over the entire field, throws to his left. The ball sails on him a little bit, but good coverage was provided, so Eric Thomas said, just to let you know that I'm around, I'm going to hit you right in the between your shoulder blades.
Cunningham a little bit high on his throws thus far. A lot of times that's adrenaline. He's just overthrown. Telchik comes on to punt it away. Mike Martin is deep for the Bengals. Telchik kicks it very high but short. Martin's fair catch is at the 19, falls to the 20 where he juggles it. But he held on, and so Telchik would have liked to have done a better job than he did there. A 27-yard punt without a return. He kept it up there for about 5 seconds there. That Washington game still not a final. Big victory for the 49ers over the Giants, who had a short week to prepare for the Niners.
Miami's 0-2. Buffalo beating Miami.
Bears are 2-0 without Wilbur Marshall and without Otis Wilson playing defensive football for them, but they beat a good team today. Those are our early scores. Minnesota starting Tommy Kramer at quarterback today. First down for the Bengals from their own 20. It only took them 1 play to score last time. This time Stanley Wilson runs into a stone wall. Mike Pitts was there, number 74, but Reggie White was the first one that hit him. Some early scores just underway. Denver in the lead early. Seattle over the Chiefs. Detroit and the Rams are scoreless. Our score 7-7. Cambarello over on the Eagle bench. One of their fine offensive linemen, a little bit shaken up.
It's like you get poked in the eye trying to locate a contact lens. Reggie White, thankfully for the Philadelphia Eagles, is okay and back on the football field. Just had the wind knocked out of him.
Boomer will roll to his right. Here comes Reggie White. He zings it for home, and he holds on and then drops it. Wes Hopkins jarred it loose. Oh, they're going to call it a fumble. And the Eagles have recovered it.
That's going to be I think we might take another look at that one, quite possibly. That might fall in the gray area ruling here, because I don't know if he had possession when he got both feet on the ground or not. But interestingly, we saw Boomer Esiason roll to Reggie White's side, I should say, which is an unusual tactic. Since he's a left-handed quarterback, you'd expect him to roll to his left. That time he rolled to his right.
I think they'll certainly take a look at this and win. Oh, they're not going to. Bob McElway says Eagles football.
I guess you see Reggie White, number 92, providing the pressure. Boomer Esiason rolled to his side. Rodney Holman juggles the football. It's questionable whether he had possession. Got both feet down on the ground. Official ruled that he had possession of the football and was stripped of it subsequently. It'd be interesting. Once again, Reggie White makes a read on Boomer Esiason, hits him right in the waist. That's going to make Boomer think twice about rolling to Reggie White's side.
2 guys who weren't with the Eagles last year combined on that play. Wes Hopkins made the hit. He missed the whole season with a knee injury. And then Todd Bell, whom Buddy Ryan brought over.
I think we're taking a look at this.
I think they are too. After his release from the Bears, made the recovery. And I think once they do get a look at it, they'll have to believe that he was still juggling. Never really did have possession with both feet on the ground.
Yeah, they're looking at the play. Little discussion going on right now. See, the thing is,
after further review by the replay official, the play stands. First down.
Say it stands. Tom Kelleher is the replay official. And his view was that it was indeed a catch. I'm sure Sam Weitz does not agree.
The angle that we had, Rodney Holman's back was, you couldn't see the football, couldn't see if he had possession. The referee obviously could see a lot clearer if Rodney Holman had both hands wrapped around the football or not.
Eagles with great field position again, this time at the Bengals 39. See if they try to run it down there. Cunningham keeps it himself. He may run it. He will. He's to the 30-yard line, has the first down, and tiptoes out of bounds. Joe Kelly and Leon White were over there to chase him out. What an additional advantage to have a guy with that capability, Dave.
It's incredible. Now he runs only when he has to. This is a design rollout, fake, and Randall Cunningham's on the flank right now. He reacts to the pressure, and he decides at this point, I can gain almost the first down on my own, and he does so. Randall Cunningham initially, when he dropped back to pass, he would just look at the defensive lineman, find a seam, and run the football. Now he's only running when he has to. Picked up 9 yards on that, 9.5 yards actually.
On second and short, it's Keith Byers. Right side has the first down. Crumway had him around the ankles, and he made the tackle. Buddy Ryan told us yesterday that Randall Cunningham is right now one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league, and in a year or two will be the #1 quarterback. That's a bold statement to make.
It certainly is. And if he can get Keith Byers and Tony untracked in that running game, it'll only expand upon the capabilities of Randall Cunningham. Because then if you're a defensive coordinator, what do you do, Kevin? Who do you stop? You have too many weapons out there.
Cunningham told me yesterday that when he first came into the league and they said read the defense, he said I read the defensive line to see how close they were.
Exactly.
Underneath, handoff to Tony. Big hole over the left side. Wilcox, number 41, from the secondary up there to stop him, combining with Eric Thomas, number 22. But another big gain on the ground for the Eagles.
Shotgun formation, just a little underneath handoff to Tony. Nice block thrown in there, and Tony just takes it downfield, spins for pretty close to 6 or 7 yards on a first down carry, which is tremendous positive yardage. Nice trap block thrown by right guard Reggie Singletary on that play to spring Tony.
Pickup of 6. It'll be 2nd and 4. The crowd reacting to the score that they posted that we showed you a moment ago, the 49ers beating the Giants, because the Eagles will be 2-0 on top of their division with a win today after the Giants loss. Cunningham throwing a dangerous pass to Jackson. He's in deep trouble, and down he will go. Fulcher brought him down for a loss of about 6 or 7.
Play sniffed out very, very effectively by the Cincinnati Bengals. It was a design rollout by Randall Cunningham, and Reggie Williams was on a blitz, and Jim Scow, halfway through the play, they realized this was the look in the formation where Randall Cunningham throws back across field. They all stopped in their pursuit and ran back to the other sideline to get themselves around the football. Very heads-up play defensively.
Bengals substituting their nickel coverage as the Eagles bring in 3 wide receivers. Garrity heading in there along with Quick and Carter. Garrity 86 to the bottom of your screen. That was such a dangerous throw. Cunningham hung it up in the air, throwing it off his back foot across the field. On 3rd down and 12. He has the time. He has lots of running room. Cunningham heading for the first down marker. Slides forward at the 16-yard line. That'll break the back of the defense. They had everybody covered, and yet he picks up the first down.
Exactly right. They really didn't have anybody designated to take Randall Cunningham in that play. As Washington-Pittsburgh fans, we welcome you here to the action here at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Randall Cunningham takes the snap in his shotgun. He's looking over the secondary. He's saying everybody's covered, good coverage by the Bengals secondary. I'm going to take this to the first down. 4.6 speed, or better than 4.6 speed, takes it to the sideline. What the Bengals have to do is put a man on Randall Cunningham when he runs the football.
Our score is 7-7. First down for the Eagles at the 16. Touchdown, Jackson!
First catch of his NFL career was a touchdown reception against Tampa Bay. He follows it up with 1 here against the Cincinnati Bengals. At this rate, he'll be pulling up some serious touchdown numbers. Randall Cunningham reacts with some exuberance as he takes it to the sideline. Right now, the Eagle offense, everything's going well for them. They're running the football effectively. Randall Cunningham's running the football effectively, as well as throwing the ball a little bit better now. Kevin, his release point's more consistent. He's not throwing those high passes.
Dean Dorsey on to add the point after. And he does, and the Eagles take a 14-7 lead over the Bengals. We still have 1:40 left in the first quarter here from Veterans Stadium. So we will come back to the vet. It's sold out, and the fireworks are exploding. 14th straight game in which Randall Cunningham has thrown a touchdown pass.
And see what the running game sets up. Softens the seams between the linebackers and defensive backs. Keith Jackson just ran a little slight slant pattern. Cunningham put it right on the money, and he likes it. Double fist pump. That's a little bit of enthusiasm right there. He says, Keith, I'll be throwing that to you on a more regular basis, partner.
14-7. The Eagles lead. This kickoff is sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beer. Dorsey on to boot it away. Jennings is deep for the Bengals. Dorsey's going to get a workout at this rate with 1:40 left in the first quarter. He kicks it high and short. Bussey on the far side at the 12. Cuts it back, gets across the 20 where he's smothered down at about the 22. Michael Haddock's number 26, William Frizzell, number 33, the first to greet him. So the Eagles have that 7-point lead because of great field position, and we'll return to the vet as the Bengals try to come back in a moment. Sold-out Veterans Stadium on a sun-kissed afternoon here in Philadelphia, and they like what they've seen of the Eagles thus far. Kevin Slayton along with Dave Lapham. Dave, you told me yesterday around the hotel you thought Buddy Ryan would come out and run the ball and prove that he could run it, and he's done it. That was the only chink in his armor, his Achilles heel, so to speak, against Tampa Bay. And the Bengals gave up over 5 yards per rush by the Cardinals last weekend, so he wanted to try to establish his running game. Bengals have it, first down at their own 21, trailing by 7. Boomer to the air. Here comes the pressure. He gets rid of it. Oh, in and out of the hands of Eddie Brown. And he would have had a long way to go had he been able to catch it. That same play, it seemed, Dave, that they scored on a 78-yard touchdown to Tim McGee earlier. The Bengals are trying to attack the middle of the football field. Tim McGee's touchdown pass started at that point. This time, once again, Boomer Esiason sets up, throws down the middle. Eddie Brown gets behind the safety or cornerback Young on that play. Just can't hold on to the football. 9 out of 10 times Eddie Brown will catch that ball, and as you mentioned, a lot of territory for him if he did catch that football. Tim McGee breaking across the middle of the field earlier in the first quarter, hung on and took it 78 yards for a touchdown. Other than that play, the Bengals offense has sputtered against this Eagle defensive unit. Quick one to Eddie Brown. He'll try to shake Roynell Young, and he does. First down, and he's up near the 40 before he's knocked out of bounds. For all you young cornerbacks out there, what you have to do is you can't let Eddie Brown get between you and the sideline. Eddie Brown takes a quick little pass. He breaks the sideline. Young has to keep Eddie Brown from the sideline, turn him back into his teammates. He had some support back inside from number 48, Wes Hopkins, but Young let Eddie Brown get to the sideline, and there's nobody else there. You have to turn him back inside to your defensive teammates. He turned that little catch into a 20-yard gain. That's what he did a week ago. One of his best games of his young career. First down Bengals, they're at their own 41. Esiason will throw and has time. Down the middle, Holman is wide open inside the 30. Fumbles the ball, and I think Eddie Brown may have gotten it, but now he loses it, and the Eagles have it. Second fumble for Rodney Holman after a pass reception. Once again, the Bengals attack the middle of the football field. A big play. Rodney Holman made the catch, but a good recovery by the Eagles put the hit on Rodney Holman. He could not hold on to the football. Turnover once again for the Bengals. Boomer Esiason steps up. Good protection once again down the middle of the field. Beats linebackers coverage on that play. That being Byron Evans. Hit sandwich. Actually, he loses control of the football trying to brace his fall going to the field, it looked like, rather than the initial contact. Everybody hit him around his legs. At that point, he lost control of the football. Byron Evans was the grateful recipient after it knocked off the knee of Eddie Brown. So a big gainer is wasted by the Bengals. They have shown the capability, however, to make the big play offensively. And it's been down the middle where the Eagles have shown to be vulnerable. Byron Evans, linebacker on man coverage, was toasted on that play by Rodney Holman. Cunningham to the air on first down. He drills it outside and completes it to Mike Quick. Working against Lewis Billups, number 24, the Bengals, perhaps their best man-to-man coverage guy. You know, the Eagles were tied for the league lead in 1987 with 48 takeaways. And they've got 2 already this afternoon here in the first quarter. And Rodney Holman is the unfortunate donator of both of those turnovers, fumbling the football twice. First down for the Eagles. Quick now, 49 straight games. He's caught a pass. And a long way to go to set the record there. Cunningham, he sees the rush, gets himself 5 or 6 as he gets up to the 35. Scow came back, number 70, the third-year player out of Nebraska, to make the tackle.
Bengals came with a different defensive strategy that time. They blitzed their safety, David Fulcher, so they had a pressure line, and then Joe Kelly was the spy of sorts. He was the chase line. He was the spy man. As Randall Cunningham broke through the line of scrimmage, Joe Kelly was right there to make the tackle.
Well, gun has sounded in the first quarter. Exciting as it was, has come to an end here in Veterans Stadium with the Eagles on top of the Bengals, 14-7. Welcome back to Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Kevin Slayton along with Dave Lapham, where the Eagles lead the Bengals 14-7, just underway in the second quarter. Second down and 6 for Philadelphia. Cunningham under pressure. Fulcher blitzing from the safety spot. And that's the first sack that the Eagles have given up all season long. Eddie Edwards, who had just come into the lineup, number 73, also met Fulcher at the quarterback.
That's right, Kevin. Last week, the Philadelphia Eagles did not give up a sack against Tampa Bay. And it was 41 games since they had Leon White and David Fulcher, 33, come. Absolutely no chance for Randall Cunningham. Smart move right there. Take the sack and reload on third down. Give yourself another opportunity. There was absolutely no place for him to go. You have to pressure him that way. Take away his flanks and up the middle. There were 3 or 4 people in his face that time.
He lost 7, 3rd and 13. The Eagles from their own 28. Cunningham under pressure, screens it out to Byers, has 2 blockers out there. Byers cuts it back, is short of the first down as he's dropped at the 38-yard line. And he got some help from Jason Buck defensively for the Bengals, who got back there to make the tackle. Chip Lohmiller's field goal with 2 seconds left gave Washington a victory. But how about the 49ers? A 78-yard Montana to Rice touchdown pass with 42 seconds left won that game for the Niners. Bears beat the Colts. New Orleans held on to win. It'll be a long year for the Packers, it looks like, as they lose to the Bucs.
Not much talent up there for Lindy Infante up in Green Bay.
Cleveland hasn't scored a touchdown yet this year. On 4th down, Kelchick in to punt it away for the Eagles, and he nails it. He sends Martin back inside his 15, and right away he goes down in the hands of William Frizzell. Great special teams play from Frizzell, the 5th-year player out of North Carolina Central, a 48-yard punt. We'll be back to the Vets, sold out on a beautiful day, for more football in a moment.
Today's game is brought to you by Dodge Cars and Trucks. When it's got to be right, it's got to be a Dodge. By Coors Light, there's no slowing down with a silver bullet. It's the right beer now. And by the U.S. Armed Forces, it's a great place to start.
Back live at Veterans Stadium, Kevin Slayton along with Dave Lapham. Bengals and Eagles. Philadelphia leads 14-7. First down for Cincinnati. Wilson tries this side, goes the other way. No, sir. He's smothered back inside the 10-yard line. Great pursuit that time from Seth Joyner, number 59, but it was Clyde Simmons who hemmed him in on the corner.
Tremendous play by the entire defense. Everybody made their reads and stayed at home. Minus 7 yards on the play. Watch, Stanley Wilson will start the play off tackle left, but Simmons stuffs it, makes Stanley turn back to his right. Seth Joyner was in perfect position, did not overcommit, stayed at home, played his key. Nice play defensively.
Buddy Ryan told us yesterday this is a high compliment to Seth Joyner. He's the finest left side linebacker in the league. Right. That includes better than Otis Wilson when he coached in Chicago. 2nd and 17. Esiason, the shadow of his own goal line, flips it outside the time. Fumble, loose ball. It went out of bounds and belongs to Cincinnati. Eric Caddis fumbling, so the tight end position for Cincinnati has fumbled 3 times today. Holman twice, and now Caddis and Boomer shaking his head.
Boomer a little bit upset with what's going on out there right now. The Bengals trying to go to their attack offense. They want to keep the Philadelphia Eagle nickel substitution package off the football field. The Bengals had final control, final possession. That's why they retained the football even though it went out of bounds. They were the last one to have possession of the football.
3rd and 20. Seth Joyner up with his arms in the air, encouraging this Veterans Stadium crowd, and they're on their feet on 3rd and 20.
Making it tough for the Bengals to hear Boomer Esiason's signal. He gives them a coded message that tells them to play in the formation. The crowd's making it tough.
Jerome Brown was in his face, and Caddis can't make the grab near the 20, so that means that Scott Fulhage is going to have to punt it from his own end zone. And it should guarantee, absent a mistake, the Eagles' excellent field position for the 3rd time in this game. And Sam Weiss does not like what he is seeing right now.
The 12th man came into play on that hurry-up attack. The fans would not let them communicate.
Partially blocked. Partially blocked. I believe it was Frizzell or Tatalatasi who got a hand on it. It'll roll dead inside the Bengal 30. Junior Tatalatasi, the man that Buddy Ryan simply calls Junior.
10-yard punt. And this was a Bengal problem last season. 9 punts blocked or deflected. Comes right up the middle. Just a great lunge. Look where he lunged for the football where it was going to be kicked from. He did not go for the punter's leg. Just a great effort. Look at him just lay out. Tremendous, tremendous effort on that play by Junior Tatalasasi.
12:33 left in the half. 14-7. The Eagles lead it. We'll be back in a moment. Buddy Ryan's been talking all week about improving the production from his running game, and the Eagles now start a possession for the 3rd time today inside the Bengals 40. They get it just inside the 30 after the partially blocked punt. A little bit of confusion. Cunningham able to beat the clock. He guns it outside to Quick, who ducks inside at the 21-yard line. Lewis Billups, again, number 24, working defensively against that guy, but he's in a different world, Quick is.
Quick told us yesterday, Kevin, that he feels once the ball is in the air, he's as fast as any receiver in the National Football League. And I firmly believe that. There's speed and there's football speed. Mike Quick has football speed.
He told us a funny story. He was elected captain by his teammates, and he went into Buddy Ryan. He said, now, does that mean I have some authority? And Buddy Ryan looked at him deadpan and said, yeah, you can call heads or tails in the coin toss.
Right, that's your contribution to decision making.
2 catches today for Quick. There goes Tony over the left side. He's finally run down. Carl Zander, number 91, made the tackle along with Crumry, but that gives the Eagles another 1st down. And Dave, you have to talk about what you mentioned at the top of the telecast. The ability of the Eagles to run the ball today has been the difference.
That's right. They looked at the game film of the Bengals defense and realized that the Cardinals ran the ball extremely effectively, and they wanted to try to do the same thing.
We checked the rest of the scores around the league that we've touched on a little bit. The Bears opening impressively and go 2-0. Another battle of field goals in Cleveland.
Denver rolling it up.
1st down Eagles. They'll run it again with Byers in his own backfield. Sheds 1 tackle. Now is knocked down by Zander as he tried to get outside. It appears as though it was Leon White who got into the backfield, but Byers was able to get away.
You're exactly right. Leon White had an opportunity to throw Byers for about a 5-yard loss, but Keith Byers, he's a physical specimen. This guy is like a linebacker running back there at the tailback position. He's built more like a fullback, and he just shucked Leon White.
I'll never forget the great game he had in his junior season at Ohio State when he was trailing Illinois 24-0 and single-handedly led the Buckeyes back, returned a kickoff for a touchdown, scored 5 touchdowns in that game as Ohio State came from behind, the most one-sided deficit in Ohio State history where they had rallied for a victory. Cunningham doesn't like what he sees, and he was a little bit confused to play earlier. This time he calls a timeout.
Well, it's better to do that, Randall Cunningham, than to waste an effort and to run a play that is just not well schooled for that particular defensive configuration. They'll talk it over, see what they come up with when we come back.
Sam Weiss in his 5th year as the head coach at Cincinnati, trailing 14-7 to the Eagles. 2nd down and 10. Kevin Slayton along with Dave Lapham. 10.5 minutes remaining in the 1st half. Cunningham to the air, plenty of time down the middle to Tony. He ducks inside the 10. White had a hold of him. He got all the way to the 6 or 7, and he has a 1st down. Joe Kelly, number 58, came over to help out. But it's 1st and goal, Philadelphia.
Once again, a nice, safe, short pass. Randall Cunningham drops back. Look at the separation. Nobody in his face. He has 5-yard separation when he delivers that football, and Tony has plenty of room to run. Leon White and Joe Kelly converge. It's a little bit too late. We've got a 1st and goal situation. Randall Cunningham now 9 out of 11 on the day, 72 yards, including that touchdown pass.
And the 2 that were incomplete, Dave, he simply overthrew his receivers.
Exactly. A little bit pumped up, as you mentioned. I think a little bit inconsistent release point, and he can fire that field goal.
First and goal for the Eagles. Tony in trouble. Zander has him, and he almost had the handoff. See if the Eagles have the killer instinct.
You're exactly right, Kevin. I think Carl Zander was going for the football in that play. He got there at the exact time of the point of the handoff. Randall Cunningham, look at Carl Zander. He decides, I'm going to go after the football right now, see if I can take it out of Tony's hands. But it's nice loss on the play from the Cincinnati Bengal defensive vantage point. Second and goal from the 10.
They'll throw it back to the 10. 5 of 6 times the Eagles scored inside Tampa's 20 last week, but twice they were inside the 10 and had to set up a field goal. So let's see if that ugly monster rears its head again here. Cunningham on a rollout. Oh, nearly picked off. It is by Wilcox. He made a great defensive play. He smelled it, zipped across the field, tipped it up, and had the presence of mind to hang on. His first interception this year.
Tremendous play. He actually performed a tip drill to himself. A lot of times defensive backs will work on a tip drill. Once the ball is airborne, close on it. Solomon Wilcox, number 41 in the black. Randall Cunningham rolls to his left. Wilcox is spying him, looking right at him, not in a coverage responsibility. Tips the ball up in the air and goes after it like a volleyball player. On that play, if Randall Cunningham had run the football, Solomon Wilcox was the spy to tackle him.
First turnover against the Eagles today, and it couldn't have come at a better time for the Bengals. Well, we mentioned that they had failed to score a touchdown twice inside Tampa's 10, but at least they got field goals a week ago. This time they come up empty. Esiason into the air, down the middle to Holman. He's got it. This time he holds on at the 36-yard line. Andre Waters really laid the lumber to him. Holman, who was fumbled twice, Dave, has to feel a little better about that 23-yard gain.
You're exactly right. He clamped both arms around that football that time. As soon as he had possession, he put a double arm lock on that football. And the Bengals are consistently attacking the middle of the defense. Boomer Esiason right down the middle once again. Over linebackers in front of safeties. Boom. Rodney Holman's right there. Once again, beaten on the play down the middle of the field was Byron Evans from his middle linebacker position. Nice touch by Boomer Esiason. Over the linebacker in front of the safety.
He's beaten Evans each time down the middle of the field. Caddis in motion. They'll run it with Wilson. Not much room again. Mike Pitts, number 74, on top of the pile. Jerome Brown, number 99, at the bottom.
James Brooks has not appeared in the Bengal offense, really, from a vantage point of featuring him whatsoever. I'm wondering if he's a little bit touched up physically, or if it's just that the Eagle defense is just taking him out of the football game. One thing Buddy Ryan does defensively, he takes one player, whether it be Boomer Esiason or James Brooks, and will take him out of the game and say, beat us with your other people. It looks like he's taking James Brooks out of this game by formation.
Now they have 3 wide receivers to the bottom of the screen. In the middle of that triumvirate is Brooks on 2nd and 7. Brooks in motion. They're going to give it to him. Try to get him the ball that way. He's got a lead blocker out in front. Cuts it upfield and is close to the first down, and in fact it appears that he has it. Well, Dave, just as you mentioned it, Sam White devises a scheme to get him the football.
Right, and notice what he had to do. Instead of putting him in the backfield, put him out flanked wide of his wide receiver. Brought him in motion to get him the football. Here's James Brooks, number 21, takes the handoff. Max Montoya, 65 for the Bengals out in front, throws a block at the defensive back's feet to spring James Brooks for first down yardage.
Brooks knew exactly where he had to go to get the first down, and he did it. Had that great season 2 years ago, then had an injured ankle last year, and I'll tell you what, that's the story of the game that you touched on early, Dave. Certainly is. First down for the Bengals. That was their longest running play of the day. And in fact, they would still be in the minus column without it. He guns it out complete to Holman again, this time to the outside. Holman has been open no matter where he's gone. Andre Waters, number 20, was there defending.
Once again, working on the safeties. Rodney Holman split out a little bit wide than his normal formation situation. Just runs a little out pattern. Never really recovers very well on the play. That's number 20, Andre Waters, strong safety for the Eagles. And the Bengals are going after the Eagles safeties in their passing game. A lot of respect for the Eagle cornerbacks, but they're really going after those safeties.
We mentioned Cunningham was 9 of 11. Esiason is 8 of 10, 178 yards and a touchdown. And he's had 2 balls that were fumbled after they were caught. Stanley Wilson, the right side. Jerome Brown misses. No, he gets knocked 5 yards backwards. And then the Eagles combine to keep him right there. I don't know who made that hit out of the secondary, Dave, but I'm glad it was on Wilson and not me.
Boy, I hear that. That was a human pinball tendency right there. Stanley Wilson, he impressed the heck out of me, the fact that he stayed on his feet. Watch this hit. He cuts up to the inside, playing off the block of Rodney Holman, and he just gets peppered from the side. But here's the hit by Hopkins. Boom! And Stanley Wilson just staggers back, but he stays on his feet. Takes a direct blow like that, never goes to the ground. Tremendous hit by Wes Hopkins, who's back after 2 years of rehab on that knee.
Great dedication from Wes Hopkins. He hit him right on the ball, too, and Wilson was able to hold that.
Great concentration.
2nd and 7 for the Bengals at the Eagle 38. As they try to tie this ball game up. Esiason has time and overthrows McGee, and the rookie Eric Allen lets him know that he's around. But Buddy Ryan is so high on Eric Allen. He was telling us his rookie cornerback plays with the moxie of a 20-year veteran.
Boomer gets plenty of separation from the line of scrimmage. No pressure in his face. Just throws the ball high. Just a bad release point. Let that ball sail on him a little bit. That was a potential completion. Really, Allen was there, though, for nice coverage.
Bengals go without the huddle. They haven't converted a 3rd down situation yet, and they face 3rd and 7. They have 2 tight ends in there. One of them, Jim Riggs, number 87, is in the backfield. As Boomer Esiason operates out of the shotgun. Flags are down. He guns it outside, off the hands of Eddie Brown, and that's twice we've seen Eddie Brown with catchable balls not pull them down, but it would appear that the Eagles may have jumped the count.
I'm not sure if the Eagles jumped or if they were pulled offside by a Bengal moving. It looked like the Bengals had a legal procedure to influence the Eagle defensive line and pull them offside. Somebody broke that stance or flinched in that 3-point stance a little bit early on the Bengal offensive line.
And you would guess that Reggie White would want to refuse this.
Illegal motion, 78 offense. Penalty is declined, 4th down.
Big Anthony Munoz committed the guilty infraction, and so that will force the Bengals to punt. And it will send Scott Fulhage back out there.
You know, it's not surprising that the Bengals passing attack is attacking the Eagles safeties. Buddy Ryan's philosophy is defensive line and cornerbacks play the pass, linebackers and safeties play the run. So they're attacking those safeties because they're conscious of the run side.
Last time Fulhage's punt was partially blocked by Todd Latasi. This time he has a better amount of time, hangs it up high, kicks it to 1, takes a Bengal bounce, but they can't save it. Boy, I'll tell you, it looked as though Ira Hillary had a chance to kill it.
Ira Hillary could have batted the ball back onto the playing field, and instead of batting it back, he jumped up around the football, and really, instead of on the 1, it's on the 20. Unfortunate, Buddy Ryan likes it.
The color of the pageantry of NFL football on NBC here in the Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia as the Eagles lead the Bengals 14-7. 6:04 left in the first half. Kevin Slayton along with Dave Lapham, the former offensive lineman for the Bengals, as the Eagles start it from their own 20. And they'll run Byers. Cuts it back nicely and picks up 3 or 4 before he is brought down. Tim Crumry and Jason Buck were over there.
Once again, the Eagles still trying to stay with that running attack, and one thing that they feel that it does, it limits the opportunity that explosive Bengal offense has. The longer they can run the football, control the clock, it keeps Boomer and his offense off the field and lessens his opportunity for that explosive offense to take advantage of the Eagle defense.
Keith Byers had only 5 yards rushing on 9 carries last week. Today, unofficially, he has 21 yards on 6 carries. And he'll go again. This time he finds the running room very short. Gets to about the 25. Leon White, number 51, was the first to grasp him. And he got help from Skip McClendon, the left defensive end, number 72, the second-year man out of Arizona State. Eagles have pretty well controlled the ball today, and it's been because of the running game that Dave Lapham talked about since the kickoff.
And that's exactly to emphasize my point. The Bengals only on the football field for 7.5 minutes as opposed to the Eagles 14.5, less opportunity to score.
Just under 5 minutes and ticking as we approach halftime. Cunningham on 3rd and 4 will go out of the shotgun. They've converted 3 of 5. And Byers makes a one-handed grab, but Wilcox makes sure he doesn't get the first down. Randall Cunningham was telling me yesterday, Byers makes catches you don't expect running backs to make. Well, he made one there, but he wasn't able to turn upfield.
Yeah, that was a meeting of the 41s there, 41 in white, 41 in black. And Solomon Wilcox, the reason he won the free safety starting position with the Bengals is for that reason. A big hitter. They liken him to David Fulcher, a couple of headhunters back there at the safety position.
And a big play man. He got a big interception of a Cunningham pass at the Bengals 7-yard line while Philadelphia was trying to take a 2-touchdown lead. Telchik on to punt it away. Mike Martin is deep for the Bengals. They're coming with an all-out rush. They didn't get there, and it's a low kick. Martin from his 40. He led the NFL in punt returns in 1984, and he gets to his 47, and that's the best field position the Bengals have had all day as Scott Curtis, number 91, got down there to get him. 32-yard punt, 3:57 left in the half. We'll return to Veterans Stadium for more football in a moment. Byron Evans is now on the Philadelphia sideline. He had been burned by Rodney Holman at that middle linebacker spot. And his replacement is Mike Reichenbach, number 55 in the Eagles linebacking corps, the fifth-year player out of East Stroudsburg State. Buddy Ryan does not wait long, Dave, does he?
No, he doesn't. And Rodney Holman has taken advantage of the middle of that Eagle pass defense, particularly burning the middle linebacker and settling down in front of the safety. He's got 4 catches for 82 yards, but unfortunately those 2 fumbles.
Buddy Ryan's not afraid to make decisions. You saw him there on the sideline. He said yesterday that he doesn't make popular decisions. He just makes the right ones.
Byron Evans doesn't think he made a popular one right there.
47-yard line, their own. That's where the Bengals begin this drive. Esiason rolling. Flips it out to Stanley Wilson. Has some room. Runs over Reichenbach, who just came into the game, and gets it down inside the Eagles' 40-yard line. Of course, a reminder to our viewers that we'll be selecting the Budweiser MVP for today's game at the conclusion of the game.
Of course, here's Reichenbach, number 55, getting into the action right away. Stanley Wilson just ran him over. Reichenbach lowered that head, made the hit on Stanley Wilson. Stanley Wilson's thrilled to death. He's as healthy as he's ever been. Made it through a training camp for the first time in his career. Of course, back after 1-year suspension because of a drug abuse.
First down, the nose of the ball inside the Eagle 40. Wilson again. Kind of runs into his own offensive lineman, and then Clyde Simmons, number 96, just laid on him and made sure he couldn't go any further. You know, we talk about Reichenbach. He was the Eagles starter at middle linebacker till he suffered an injury to his ankle last season. So he's not somebody who is not used to playing out there.
Big hitter. He's known more for his skill against the running attack than he is against the passing attack. But of course, Evans was too, or is too, I should say. They're going to have to make an adjustment. I would imagine Buddy Ryan will make some sort of adjustment to firm up the middle of the field in that passing attack.
Jerome Brown is out of the Eagles' front 4, and in to replace him is Mike Dolich, number 90, on 2nd and 8. We'll try to get word from the Eagles bench as to what the problem is with Brown. Pitts giving some pressure. The quick flip is out to Holman, dances and gets away. Inside the 30, Roynell Young chases him down. I'll tell you something, for a big tight end, you got to like that kind of movement.
That's exactly right. Rodney Holman has great abilities to run with the football after the catch. Once again, Boomer Esiason steps up in the pocket and delivers it. Watch this, a little inside move. That's what you'd expect, and then freezes linebacker and bursts it to the outside. That's what you'd expect out of a 195-pound wide receiver, not a 245-pound tight end. He made a great move on Seth Joyner. Once again, Boomer delivering the football. Pressure right at his feet, but he stepped up away from that.
First down, Bengals at the Eagle 26. They're going for the tying touchdown. Here's Brooks. In trouble. Simmons did a great job to get him in his own backfield. Clyde Simmons, whom you don't hear too much about when you have the Reggie Whites and Jerome Browns in your lineup, makes a big defensive play. The Eagle coaches were telling us he had the best game last week.
That's right. The Eagle coaches say that he's graded out the best over the whole preseason of all the defensive linemen.
The Raiders opening up big today. They're going for 2-0. Seattle, the same story as they lead the Chiefs. Detroit would open up 2-0, I believe, with that victory, if they can hold on.
That's right.
But the Rams have a long way to go. 2nd and 12 after a loss of 2. Esiason to the air. Here comes the rush from Pitts. He's got Brooks. Brooks has a first down. He's inside the 10. He's still on his feet. Heads for the end zone. Touchdown!
Great job of tightrope in that sideline. Staying in bounds. Oh, look at that hit by Hopkins. A late hit. And James Brooks keeps his composure, walks off the field, and says, we'll take that 15-yard penalty on the ensuing kickoff. Boy, just a bad move by Hopkins there.
And I did not see what precipitated it. I would assume that the Eagles may have thought that Brooks had stepped out of bounds, but you wouldn't expect someone to get that hot over something like that.
I think the situation, maybe Hopkins felt...
Personal foul, number 48 defense, after the touchdown, will be enforced on the kickoff.
There'll be a short kickoff for James Brooks after this touchdown. I think Wes Hopkins just lost his composure Boomer Esiason rolling away from the pressure from Pitts, lays it out there for James Brooks. Watch how he tap dances this sideline. Makes a great play, boom, boom, keeps himself in bounds. Hopkins overcommits, and Brooks gives him a straight arm. Then he points at him. That's what precipitated the hit. He kind of taunted him a little bit. Hopkins lost his composure, though, totally. Came up and hit James Brooks with a double shot to the face mask. That's something that you just have to maintain your composure. He just hurt his team with that play.
From a veteran like Hopkins, you don't expect it as Breach comes on to try to tie this game up. And he does so. We're all knotted at 14. Now some more fisticuffs break out after the point after touchdown, and these two teams not showing a lot of love for each other out there in the city of brotherly love.
This is a typical Buddy Ryan team. They're very physical, and you're going to see a few more of these altercations throughout the course of the football game.
2:03 remaining in the first half. We're tied at 14. Back live at the Vet, Kevin Slayton and Dave Lapham. James Brooks, you see him there, just tied this game up on a 28-yard touchdown reception from Boomer Esiason. Don McPherson, the quarterback that the Eagles chose out of Syracuse, not suiting up today.
Tells you something about James Brooks. The guy not only can hurt you running the football, he's a dangerous pass receiver. Boomer's already got 235 yards passing on the afternoon. Two touchdowns.
He's had a great day, and the Bengals were knocking on the door 2 other times when Rodney Holman fumbled the ball. Breach kicking off, and he'll knock this one clear through the end zone after that 15-yard penalty, and he does. Konechny was back there only because you have to have a guy back there. He wasn't going to get near that one.
Breach was going for the uprights on that one. He was trying for about a 70-yard field goal attempt.
It's nice when you can tee it up at the 50 and let it fly. So that 15-yard penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct against Wes Hopkins has been assessed, and the Eagles will start from their own 20 as we get the 2-minute warning. All tied up at 14. I'd like to take an opportunity. All of us at NBC, as well as the Eagles and Bengals, would like to pass along wishes for a speedy recovery to the Eagles' former great running back and Hall of Famer Steve Van Buren. He's in the hospital after suffering a stroke in August, so we wish him well and a quick recovery. Buddy Ryan, the familiar pose along the sidelines for the Eagles.
That's right. He kind of keeps a poker face on that sideline with the arms folded across his chest no matter what's happening out there. He will get emotional from time to time, though, as Todd Bell relayed a cute story to us yesterday. He said in the exhibition season he was covering a tight end from the Detroit Lions and latched onto him, held a little bit, and Buddy was yelling his name out in the field. Todd, get over here. Bell came over to the sideline. He said, "You're too good to be doing that. You can run with that tight end. Let him go," and cuffed him on the head, sent him back out in the field. And there's Todd Bell, number 52, 212-pound outside linebacker, not fearful of playing against those big offensive tackles because, as Buddy Ryan says, Todd Bell is a hired killer.
He told us that yesterday when we asked him if he could stand up to the physical pounding at linebacker at that weight, and Buddy didn't hesitate. Todd Bell told us yesterday how grateful he was. He feels like his football career may have been over except for the saving grace of Buddy Ryan. Buddy doesn't forget those players that really perform for him.
Buddy has a flair for the sensational, doesn't he? I mean, everybody's the best in the league on his team.
He'll go up and down his lineup, and you'll think he has 22 All-Pros out there.
That's right.
First and 10 from the 20. Cunningham out of the shotgun as they go to the 2-minute offense. Like to get on the board and break the tie. Cunningham airing it out for Quick. He was covered nicely by Eric Thomas, who would not allow Mike Quick to get behind him. It looked like Quick hesitated in going for the ball, and maybe thought Cunningham might underthrow because he was open short.
Randall Cunningham just threw his arms up in the air as he was glancing downfield at Mike Quick on that play, and maybe they were on a different page. Mike Quick put a couple of moves on his pass route that I think Randall Cunningham didn't expect.
Give you an idea, the arm strength of Cunningham, he just floated that ball 50 yards in the air effortlessly. Second and 10 for the Eagles. All day to throw. Great catch by Keith Jackson. Fulcher was all over him, but that big guy from Oklahoma, he can pull it down. You know, he averaged 24 yards a catch at Oklahoma, Dave, and I'm telling you something. What a great pick the Eagles made in the draft.
Here he is, split out a little bit wide from his tight end position, double eights, and the white takes it to the sideline. Just a tremendous catch, catches the back half of the football. Once again, Randall Cunningham showing tremendous arm strength. That's a test of an NFL quarterback. Throw a frozen rope out to the sideline like that.
They picked up 7. It's 3rd and 3. The officials stopping the clock.
I think they're taking a look at it to see if Jackson had both feet in bounds for possession on that reception.
Jackson has played 2 games in his professional career and caught a touchdown pass in each.
I think they're judging whether he had possession and both feet before he stepped out of bounds on the sideline. He has to tap with both. Here it is, Jackson one. He does not get the second foot down after possession. They may, but they decided to keep the call as stands.
Tom Kelleher, our replay official. 3rd down and 3 down the middle. Jackson has it, has the first down. That's the play that Cunningham has been confident in going to all day. Wilcox was there, 41, and he got some help from Jason Buck coming back to make the tackle also. Hurry up offense. They have a first down at their 37.
Here's where Randall Cunningham's so dangerous with that running ability.
Flags are down. There's Byers underneath. He's heading for the sidelines at midfield. He's still in bounds, and Fulcher knocks him out at the 34, and Byers lays Fulcher out.
There is the flag back at the 35-yard line. The Philadelphia Eagles may have an illegal motion against the Eagles will nullify that play, nullify that 30-yard gain. So in essence, a 30-yard gain becomes a 5-yard loss.
Byers and Fulcher still jawing at each other. That's 238 pounds of Byers, and Fulcher not much smaller at 228. I think he's bigger than 228.
I think
illegal motion.
I agree.
Left side of the line. First down.
Those are the kind of plays that don't really show up on the stat sheet. Boom, there's a collision right there. David Fulcher and Keith Byers that you were talking about. And Byers got the best of that one. David Fulcher got up and said, come on, bring it again. I can take it.
Buddy Ryan loves that kind of play out of Byers. He could have stepped out of bounds, but he chose instead to lower the boom. 1st and 15 without penalty against the Eagles. Low snap. The rush is coming. Scow is there to greet him. Scow and Jason Buck. Buck, the first-round pick a couple of years ago out of BYU, kind of the designated pass rusher for the Bengals, and that time he and Scow met at Cunningham.
And what they did was they had a person in his face and one at his flank. Nowhere to go, nowhere for him to step up into the pocket, and they collapsed the side of the pocket. Good pass rush by the Bengals.
Second Bengals sack. They want more. He guns it complete to Carter at the original line of scrimmage. And with the clock under a minute left, the Eagles take a timeout. That's the first time all day that Cunningham has thrown in the direction of Chris Carter. That one picks up 16 yards.
You know, unbelievably, even with Randall Cunningham at quarterback, the Eagles gave up 72 sacks last season, over 100 sacks the season before. So it's just unbelievable that they can't pass protect better for Randall Cunningham.
Back live at the vet, Kevin Slayton and Dave Lapham. Eagles facing 3rd and 9. You saw the story, tied at 14. Here's Byers heading for first down yardage. He may have it, he may be short. Bussey stopped him, but I think he got there. He did. Byers likes Brooks, Dave. So dangerous catching that football.
Exactly. Buddy Ryan is really high on his running backs. He said both Byers and Tony can run the football, block effectively, and catch out of the backfield. And he's been really disappointed, as you said, Kevin. He's tired of making alibis for his running backs, but the first half has to give Keith Byers a tremendous shot of confidence.
First down Eagles at their own 47. Another bad snap. Cunningham is making one-handed catches. There's Jackson, but a great defensive play that time from Eric Thomas, the second-year player out of Tulane. Prevented a big gainer for the Eagles. I'm somewhat hesitant about it, but I think they're going to have a bad snap get loose.
I think you're right. It's kind of a sporadic snap. It's not coming back to him in a frozen rope, but that was one delivered by Randall Cunningham. Great effort by Eric Thomas to reach around him, avoid contact, and knock that ball loose.
2nd and 10 for the Eagles. 43 seconds remaining in the half. They have just one timeout left. You recall earlier Cunningham took one when he wasn't sure of a defensive alignment. That time the snap was good. Here comes the pressure. He's able to duck it. He's going to tuck it under and go. Thomas makes the tackle inside the 40. It's a first down, but the clock continues to run.
Look at back at the 35-yard line. You had Skip McClendon, Joe Kelly. Can't believe the Bengal defenders can't believe that Randall Cunningham eluded those two. They better get off the football field, and they don't.
And Cunningham throws the ball at the ground and immediately points to McClendon, who didn't get off the field in time. A flag is down.
Bengals had 13 players on the field because Joe Kelly and Skip McClendon did not get off the field in time.
And it'll go against the Bengals. And that's what Randall Cunningham very alertly did. There's a story, Dave, where 3 years ago, when Cunningham was just beginning his career, he probably wouldn't have been cognizant of that.
That's right.
He's matured so tremendously.
He's seeing the whole field.
Too many men on the field against the defense. First down.
What happened on that play, Sam's upset about it, but what happened is that Skip McClendon and Joe Kelly were commiserating over the fact that they couldn't get Randall Cunningham down, and he got up to the line of scrimmage in a hurry. They didn't get off the football field in time. He snapped the football, had 13 men on the field, and couldn't play.
And in case you're wondering, as you look at Dean Dorsey, the place kicker for the Eagles, the intentional grounding rule has been modified over the past couple of years that the quarterback has to be under pressure when he dumps it away in order for it to be intentional grounding. He just took a step back and threw it at the ground. Cunningham hit from behind by Buck and dropped back at the 45, and that's a big sack.
Tremendous sack by Jason Buck. That's what the Bengals drafted him for out of Brigham Young University, his pass rush potential. He is the designated pass rusher. Here he comes from Randall Cunningham's blind side, beats the tackle upfield, wraps both hands around his waist, brings him down. He had the big sack against Neil Lomax, the last play of the game last weekend against the Cardinals.
And he's been in on 2 today as the Eagles stop the clock with 14 seconds left in the half. 14 is the magic number because that's our score, 14 apiece.
You know, Jason Buck's got that tremendous upfield speed. That's his forte is speed rush. He's not a power rusher, doesn't have tremendous strength, but he's a finesse speed rusher. Got upfield very effectively on that occasion. Randall Cunningham on the sideline saying, let's keep these guys off of me. Can't see him. He doesn't have eyes in back of his head.
2nd and 14 facing the Eagles, but the important thing is they need to hit one pass to give Dorsey a shot at it. Because inside the 40-yard line, Dorsey hits on 89% of his field goals for his career. Most of that coming at Ottawa in Canada, but that is still an impressive number.
I think the Bengals have made a tactical change. They've decided just to pressure Randall Cunningham, bring more people to rush the quarterback. They're bringing 5 and 6 people with regularity, people in his face as well as on his flank. You can't give him any seam to take advantage of running the football.
Byers comes out. Greg Garrity, number 86, at the bottom of your screen as they send triple receivers to the bottom. Carter and Quick, the other 2. Cunningham for Garrity. Nice grab at the 25, and he gets out of bounds. What an effort from Garrity. Lewis Phillips was trying to keep him inbounds, but Garrity, the smart veteran with 7 seconds left, was able to get out of bounds, and now Dorsey will come on to try to break this tie.
Tremendous route run by Garrity. He takes it downfield, slams the brakes on. Cunningham delivers. Look at the separation. Lewis Phillips thought that he was going to be taking the ball down deep. Garrity slammed the brakes on, took it back to the sideline, a little comeback pattern. Randall Cunningham put it right between his numbers. A big, big play. Tremendous pass route by Garrity.
42-yard effort. From outside the 40, he's 83% successful. Here's a guy who kicked 23 straight field goals in '87 up in the Canadian League. And as I tell you how good he is, he slides it to the right.
The kiss of death. Dorsey's upset about it. That's a tough life, that of a kicker. Of course, he's getting some condolences from his teammates on the sideline, but you don't go through all the pounding. The offensive lineman really upset, works so hard to get the ball in position. When the kicker misses it, it's a tough deal for the kicker. Dean Dorsey puts good leg into it. He's trying to coax it in, little body English, lean back. Oh, come back to the left a little bit. Oh, geez, no, not enough. Little disappointment registered right there.
There's no in-between for a kicker. It's feast or famine.
Well, that's a fact.
2 seconds left. The Bengals just touch it down, and that will send both teams into the locker room, tied at 14. The Eagles took the early lead 7-0, and after the Bengals tied it, they took another lead of 14-7. But the Bengals came back to knot it up, and the Eagles had the best opportunities to go ahead, one with that missed field goal, and another when they had 1st and goal at the 7, only to have a pass intercepted by Solomon Wilcox. So that is our story at halftime. The Eagles and the Bengals all knotted up before a sellout crowd here at the Vet in Philadelphia.